Wow, thank you all so much for coming to my session on deepening trust and unfolding, while I'm sharing some insights from taking Aletheia meditation on long silent meditation retreats. And we'll start with a short grounding meditation, and then I'll be sharing a bit about my meditation background, as well as my retreat experiences and some insights that I've gleaned on deepening the conditions for unfoldment on retreat, as well as in daily life practice. And then I'll be sharing a couple of original modern mantra songs that emerged for me on retreat. And then we can open it up to some question and response and some sharing from you. Would love to hear about your learnings as well. And then we can close the session. So that is the flow overall. And so with that, let's just do a short grounding meditation just to arrive here together. So just finding your meditation posture, and taking a few deep breaths. And as you're inhaling, coming into your full uprightness and feeling a sense of dignity and aliveness. And on the out breath, allowing yourself to relax and release any tension that's ready to be released right now. Be letting out a sigh of relief if that feels good. Just arriving here and feeling your feet on the earth, your sit bones and the chair supporting you. And just resting into that support of the ground, of the earth, holding you up unconditionally. Resting into that support. And just welcoming whatever is arising here in your direct experience. Just allowing everything to be just as it is. Loving the truth, beauty, and goodness of what is here for its own sake. And maybe stepping into the view of nothing missing. Nothing missing in who you are. Sitting here, already always whole. And taking a moment to connect with your heart intention for your practice. What is your deepest aspiration for your practice of unfoldment? What is your deepest longing? I'm just taking a moment to connect with that. When you're ready, slowly opening your eyes and just making some eye contact with the people on the screen here. Just taking in a sense of us here gathered together as a community of practice, joining our heart intentions together. on this journey. I'm just feeling into the support that is here, and the interconnection that's here. Beautiful. Well, I'm really, really honored to share a bit about my retreat experiences with you. They've truly been beyond words, and if I had to summarize it in one word, it would really just be wow. Who we really are is good news, and can share a little bit about my meditation background, maybe just to set a bit of context. I started meditating 20 years ago through discovering a book on the Buddha's life when I was 13, and really got into it and was self-taught and just tried to practice, but always thought I was doing it wrong. And then later on, did a teacher training with Jack Kornfield and Tara Brach and James Barris in the Insight meditation tradition, and started practicing every day, and started going on silent meditation retreats about 10 years ago, at least once a year. Started out with 7 to 10 day retreats, and then worked myself up to month-long retreats for the past 3 years. So have been doing quite a bit of practice, mostly in the Insight meditation tradition, so Theravadan Buddhist lineage, but also explored a bit of Zen and a bit of Tibetan Buddhist meditation as well, and then more secular mindfulness practices. And for the last 3 years, I've gone on these month-long meditation retreats after each level of the ACP, so after level 1, 2, and 3. And it's been really an amazing experience to get to really deepen unfoldment on those retreats, and kind of take the elements I was learning during each of the levels into that month-long container. And that was very supportive, for deepening my practice. And at first, I was really just practicing with the poetic attunement, as well as, working with parts work, like if there was a lot of distractions coming up, parts getting activated, just having tools for being able to work with that, address parts, ask them to step back. I had more of a sense of navigating depth through the 4 depths, so better understanding where I was at in my practice, at what level of depth was I meditating. So just really almost like having a way to navigate the territory better, and to work with whatever was arising, and to really deepen my practice, and ultimately be able to drop into non-dual presence through doing concentration meditation on the first 2 retreats that I was doing. And then on the 3rd retreat, I was really practicing with the progressive Aletheia meditation system that I learned in level 3 last year. And that was a whole other experience, and really, really potent. And that involved practicing concentration meditation, and then shifting into emptiness practices, as well as generation stage tantric practice as well. So those were the things that I was practicing, and I can share more details if you're interested later on in the question and response. But that's just as an overview. And thought I could just share, some of the insights that emerged around how I was able to really deepen trust and create those conditions for unfoldment, during the retreat and in my practice. And there were really a few key elements that I think are also quite applicable for just daily practice, or if you're called to do a retreat, that might be helpful. The first one is establishing the sense of safety and security. So really helping my nervous system relax and feel this deep connection with the earth and the sense of unconditional nourishment and belonging. And that came very natural while I was practicing at Spirit Rock Meditation Center. It's such a beautiful held container, and the nature there is so beautiful. There is the sense of loving kindness in the field through all the practitioners who are, opening their heart and really practicing ethical attunement and non-harming. And, all the meals are provided. It's a very nourishing container. And so in that space, I really felt like I was able to relax and, also relax a lot of the kind of contractions and patterns that were keeping me in this state of like fear and not trusting and having to like watch out for is it safe, are other people safe. Like I was really in that kind of container, able to just melt and soften a lot more than if I was just practicing somewhere in a public space. So that made a big difference, and in particular, really in my practice, making that connection with the ground and really feeling how the ground is solid and supportive, and how it does offer, that sense of stability offers a sense of safety that I can relax into. So just very immediately cultivating that connection with the earth. And also the sense of the earth being unconditionally nourishing and holding, that there is nothing that I can do to ever, lose that support. Like I have always been nurtured and supported, and I can really relax into that and trust that. So that's been important. The other one is practicing with the poetic attunement. So really loving truth, beauty, and goodness for its own sake, which is ultimately this non-dual attunement, how we can attune to the truth, beauty, and goodness of our own nature. And in a way, for me, this is like the sense of really seeing things through the heart, like to really attune to what is good and what is beautiful and what is true in each moment. And really cultivating this sense of like loving kindness for whatever is arising, that I can meet the moment with curiosity and with kindness, that everything is welcome here. Like whatever is arising can be met. And so that was also very, very powerful, like to practice attuning in this way. And to ultimately realize that there is that I really have what it takes to meet life just as it is, and that the more I attune to loving truth, beauty, and goodness for its own sake, the more truth, beauty, and goodness arises, that it cannot be any other way, that if I look in this way, more of it unfolds. And similarly, if I attune in this way of, what's negative and what's wrong, like then more of that unfolds, that I'm really kind of creating my own reality in the way that I'm tuning. So that was really powerful. And the other one that's very related is practicing with the sense of nothing missing, that at the beginning of the practice, to really, as Steve calls it, practicing in this extraordinary way, this way of being already realized, that rather than being this seeker of enlightenment or trying to realize my true nature, to become a finder and a realizer of it. That ultimately the practice is non-dual presence, that is waking up to its own nature as non-dual presence through us. And that by taking this view, like there's no place to get to, I'm already always realized, and yet I'm also blocked in that realization at the same time. and I can work with whatever is blocking that. But it's been very powerful to practice in this way of getting there by being there, instead of the sense of striving and trying to get there and thinking something is wrong, or it's not good enough, and kind of this criticism of the practice. And so that's been really powerful as well. Start with like nothing missing at the beginning of the practice, and also just as a reminder, and then seeing what that reveals. And then another key element for me has been practicing with the heart intention. So I was also inviting you to connect with your heart intention at the beginning here as well. So really, connecting with like, why am I doing this? Like, what is really at the heart of this practice, and what am I really up to here? And ultimately for me, letting that be for the benefit of all beings, and to really have that heart intention also renew itself and clarify itself as I go along, and that it's a living intention, and that I can really ground my practice in that, and through that also activate the poetic attunement in a way, like that heart attunement. And along with that, also having a refuge, a vow, and a dedication of merit has been helpful. So, taking refuge in the community of practitioners, in true nature, in, for me, the Dharma, and to have a vow of, loving truth, beauty, and goodness for its own sake has been powerful. And also to dedicate the merit of the practice, for the benefit of all beings, that it's not, only for me, but it really is an offer to all beings, and really acknowledging our interconnectedness in that sense as well. And then the last piece I can share here is to follow the threads of longing. That has also been very, very powerful, that to really let desire be the fuel for the practice, and ultimately like this desire for realizing true nature, for really wanting to realize these different aspects of true nature, and that this perceived sense of absence and like this deep longing is exactly what I need to turn to, and is what needs to be acknowledged and received, and that knowing that we can only really desire that which we already have a glimpse of, that it's already present to some degree, has been very, very powerful as well. And it's been a huge reconditioning for me, having practiced a lot in this Theravadan tradition where, desire is made bad, and, it's at the root of suffering. And so to really get to reclaim desire has been incredibly powerful along this journey. And that, and then also that this deep longing for the deep longing ultimately is also a gift to all beings, that the realization of that which I most deeply long for, is offered as a gift to all beings as well. So that has been powerful. And there's in particular a poem that really, really speaks to that for me. And I'm happy to share that with you. It is called Unconditional by Jennifer Wellwood. So feel free to just take it in here for a moment. Willing to experience aloneness, I discover connection everywhere. Turning to face my fear, I meet the warrior who lives within. Opening to my loss, I gain the embrace of the universe. Surrendering into emptiness, I find fullness without end. Each condition I flee from pursues me. Each condition I welcome transforms me and becomes itself transformed into its radiant, jewel-like essence. I bow to the one who has made it so, who has crafted this master game. To play it is purest delight, to honor its form, true devotion. Yeah, so that poem really speaks to me and describes in a way what it's about, to really turn to whatever is here and then let that transmute into its radiant jewel-like essence. And so what I've learned from these experiences is this deep sense of that we unfold at the speed of trust. That as we deepen trust in life and deepen trust in unfoldment, it keeps on speeding up and quickening. And there's more of the sense of relaxation and just letting go, surrendering, and just that the more I can let go, the more freedom there is, the more ease there is, and the more I can just relax into this unfolding of the mystery itself and don't have to try so hard. It's the sense of getting there by being there. So that's been very beautiful as well, that in all of this deepening trust and unfoldment has really relaxed a lot of the parts that were about trying to do the practice right, and and really it's evolved more into just trusting the moment and trusting what's needed in the moment and what practice to do or maybe no practice to do, and just really letting things unfold in their own time. And the more I was able to relax and trust, the more the unfoldment was quickening, and the more I felt connected to that innate wholeness, that innate resourcefulness. So that has been really beautiful as well. And what's also been really beautiful in these experiences was the sense of devotion arising and the surrendering to something much larger working through me, the sense of life using me well, and like this, just kind of being this vehicle, this vessel for whatever wanted to move through, and realizing I didn't have to figure it all out and didn't have to be the one to handle everything and make it all work, but really just this much deeper sense of this, I'm just part of this much larger unfolding that is happening, and I don't have to figure everything out. And I really had this deeper sense of also the ultimate goodness of reality without that being defined against an opposite, but just this deep sense of ever unfolding into an ever greater expression of truth, beauty, and goodness for its own sake. And that who we are is really good news. And I can just open to the mystery of it all. And I had these beautiful experiences of synchronicity and flow as well, of things just flowing effortlessly from the mystery into form, it seemed. A lot of poetry emerging, insights on these retreats, as well as a couple of original songs that came up during my last month-long retreat. that really blew me away, because I've never written a song in my life and I'm not a singer. And so just to have a couple of original songs come up in deep meditation was truly an awe-inspiring experience. And yeah, they really felt like, in a way, instructions for how to live, or just like deeper insights that I was with that emerged in song form. And so I would love to share a couple of these songs with you. I actually ended up producing them with a dear friend of mine, Jared Lucas, who is also in Aletheia. His artist name is Rolada. And we just released the album on Spotify today. So very, very exciting. And I realized that Sarah Marie could not share these songs, but my alter ego, Joy for No Reason, could. So here is Joy for No Reason and Rolada. And the first song I'll share is Like an Instrument. It's the first song that emerged. And then the next one is One Destiny. So if you're up for it, I will share those songs with you. And feel free to just take them in.
Let life play me like an instrument. I don't control this show. Let life play me like an instrument. I surrender to love. Let life play me like an instrument. I don't control the show. Let life play me like an instrument. I surrender to it all. 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 All wide open. All wide awake. All wide open. All wide awake. Moments of grace come through me. Moments of grace come through me. All wide open. All wide awake. Let life play me like an instrument. I don't control this show. Let life play me like an instrument. I surrender to love. Let life play me like an instrument. I don't control the show. Let life play me like an instrument. I surrender to it all. 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 All wide open. All wide awake. All wide open. All wide awake. Moments of grace come through me. Moments of grace come through me. All wide open. All wide awake. I don't control the show. I don't need to know. I move with the flow. Oh, watch me glow. All wide open. All wide awake. All wide open. All wide awake. Moments of grace come through me. Moments of grace come through me. All wide open. All wide awake. All wide open. All wide awake. All wide open. All wide awake.
That was like an instrument. And I will share the other one as well. It is called One Destiny.
We are a living process, dependently co-arising, all interconnected, unique but not separate. We are a living process, dependently co-arising, all interconnected, unique but not separate. One love, one heart, one destiny, all interconnected, unique but not separate. One love, one heart, one destiny, all interconnected, unique but not separate. Oh, why can't we get along? Oh, why can't we get along? Why can't we get along? Oh, why can't we get along? Oh, why can't we get along? Sources of delusion. Oh, why can't we get along? Sources of confusion. Why can't we get along? Sources of delusion. Oh, why can't we get along? One love, one heart, one destiny, all interconnected, unique but not separate. One love, one heart, one destiny, all interconnected, unique but not separate. It's time to wake up, time to make up, time to get unstuck for the future of humanity, for the benefit of all. One love, one heart, one destiny, all interconnected, unique but not separate. One love, one heart, one destiny, all interconnected, unique but not separate. One love, one heart, one destiny. One love, one heart, one destiny.
Yay. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah, would love to open it up to any questions you have, any reflections. Would love to hear from you how this is landing and what you're most curious about. Yeah, bye.
Hi, and hi everybody. Good to see some familiar and new faces. Thank you for sharing all of this. You actually answered some questions that I was holding while you were talking about it. And the big one for me, and you already answered this, but just wondering whether you experienced those moments of synchronicity, because whenever I was in the pit, as I like to say, I eventually got to a place where things felt effortless. Like I stopped strategizing. I stopped thinking super hard about what I needed to do or what my plans were, or how I needed to show up in a particular place or what I needed to be. And things started falling into place on their own, without any plan or any evidence for trusting that something was going to, go in a beneficial way. And then it did anyhow. And so I guess eventually I got pulled further and further out of that. Trust was less present. And then it became very thinky and strategic and those kinds of things. And So I guess my question here is, what do you feel like you're attuning to in these moments of trust and synchronicity? Because I feel like there's something that my attention is meant to be resting on. There's something there that I'm meant to be connected to that I'm kind of disconnected from when I'm not in these kinds of moments. And I guess I'm hoping that maybe by being in contact with people who are there presently or there, with some regularity, I can kind of find my own way back, if that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, what I am really attuned to in those moments of synchronicity is this deep sense of awe and wonder. That's like the biggest experience of just like, wow, like I'm just in awe and things are just unfolding. Like with these songs, I was just in deep meditation and the songs were just playing and the music was playing and the lyrics were just coming effortlessly. And I was just in this very deep sense of awe and wonder and beholding and just receiving and then also gratitude. And I mean, I was just like, wow, like just in a state of wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that lines up. And your remark about unfolding at the speed of trust also lands. And that also brought up that question of like, trust of what? Like you could say unfolding, but that's a word, that's like a concept for me right now. And so I guess again, I'm wondering, is there something you're attuning to? Like maybe it's your intuition or an inner voice or soul, whatever you might like to call it, or something else. I'm curious if that's true.
Yeah, it's I think like a deep trust in our true nature, like having those glimpses of it and kind of realizing, wow, it's really good news, like that, just building more trust in it, like that there is something really true, beautiful, and good about that is an expression of that true beauty and goodness.
Yeah,
And
I like
that
that.
is
I like that phrase, who we are is good news.
yeah. Yeah, and then that ultimate goodness of reality, like really landing in that as well, that like the way I'm attuning reveals more of that. Like if I am attuning to loving truth, beauty, and goodness for its own sake, the only thing that can unfold is more of that. Like it reveals more of that in myself and others in the world.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, Julie.
Thank you so much, Sarah Marie. I just wanted to share that sometimes when I come into these group spaces, it takes me a little bit to like really settle and feel that groundedness and safety. And I just felt it immediately in this space. So really want to thank you for your deep presence and just inviting us in to your experience. It really, really, yeah, deeply, I deeply felt it. And I just wanted to say, like Levi, I think I really am appreciating your pointing to this unfolding at the speed of trust. And it made me remember that it's something I sort of said. I left a corporate job last year, and I didn't make this up. I read it somewhere, but this was kind of my mantra in the corporate world, in a tech job where we were moving so fast that we needed to move at the speed of trust. And it feels revolutionary now, like to have said that. So I'm just appreciating that it really is true, and it can apply in so many. It applies everywhere beyond meditation practice. So I'm just really appreciating your reminder of how true that is. And yeah, I'm just feeling like I want to bring that back as my mantra. So thank you for sharing that with us. And I loved your music.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Julie.
I'd love to share too. And I just want to say how much I'm touched hearing the songs. and just moved to tears. You know, the One Destiny, it was the second time I got to hear it. And as soon as it came on, I was in the words and really feeling it, and just moved to tears again. And so I just feel so, it feels so precious that you're sharing them here with us. And yeah, so I'm so excited that I actually can go look for them on Spotify now. And I'm already thinking of ways I would like to share them.
Thank you so much, Angie. Yeah, I have to say these songs have been, you know, the biggest experiential mismatch I've ever experienced. Like that sense of, you know, me singing or creating songs in the world. It's just, that was so out of my sense of my identity. So it has been truly like a deep experience of deepening trust as well. Like if I can create these kinds of songs in the world, then like anything is possible. Like it really feels that way. It's pure sense of possibility and magic from that. Yeah.
And how do we find these on Spotify? Is it just by searching your name?
Oh, I can post the link. They literally just went live earlier this morning, which is wild. But I'm putting the link here in the chat. Yeah, you can also find them through searching Joy for No Reason. And the album is called Modern Mantras. And the inspiration for that was actually, I had a session with Steve after the retreat, and he said, oh, it sounds like these are modern mantras, you know, coming through you. So thank you, Steve, for the inspiration. Any other curiosities or questions?
I have one. Over my years of meditative work, I've also found that some of what helps to foster the trust, like deepening of trust for me, has been through body wisdom and accessing more and more of my embodiment. And I'm just curious, it makes me wonder if there's a particular body practice or set of body practices or way of moving and being in your body that supports you in your journey.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of different practices. Certainly level 2 has been very, very helpful. You know, the breath work and really working with these segments of armoring, that has opened things up a lot more, and also helped me just feel, you know, safer in a way, like safer in the world and in my body. And I love dancing. I dance pretty much every day. And yeah, love doing yoga as well, and some qigong. So really a combination of different things. But probably like the most embodied I feel is like when I'm like, you know, dancing and like just really in the flow of the music and just working things out. And like I do a lot of emotional expression through dance, and just, yeah, selecting soundtracks that fit what emotions I want to be moving. And that's been a big practice for me. And one of my key dance partners is actually on the call here, Alex. Been having a regular practice of Zoom dancing for several years now. Yeah,
just talking about trust,
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You go ahead, please.
I was just going to comment on trust and I think Angie brought it up, and I think it's about. I love this quote about trust being choosing to risk making something you value vulnerable to another person's actions. And I think why we feel this safety and security with you in this room is you put your vulnerability front and center from the start, from this call. So thank you for doing that, and being able to put that and allowing us to sense into it, and also listening to your songs is a song that comes from a deep place of vulnerability and that creativity that comes with that as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. Yeah, this is very, very precious to me, and like I definitely felt quite tender and a bit anxious starting out, just to share things that really are kind of beyond words. And so I'm really, really grateful for your kind listening and for the space to be able to share this and try to give words to that which is hard to put into words. And Brandon, did you want to share something?
First of all, I just want to say, am I on mute? No. First of all, I want to say thank you. I really enjoyed listening to you. So that's the main thing I wanted to just appreciate you. And I'm not sure if I have a question. There's two things that are grabbing my attention. One is the desire. And I think I heard you say it's the desire for truth, beauty, and goodness. My curiosity is, have you explored just desire, I don't know, some of the more bodily felt sense of desire, right? Rather than a theoretical truth, beauty, and goodness, like just exploring that desire. And maybe to speak a little bit about that. And I don't know if I have a question. The other one that I really also was curious about, as a fellow traveler in the Aletheia, we're both in level 4 now, is the to what extent are you embodying the various qualities of presence? And have you gone through all the primaries and secondaries? Are they showing up for you in your experience? So pick one of those. I don't mind. I don't think we have time for two.
Yeah, wow. Beautiful questions. Yeah, but for a desire one, like definitely like really allowing myself to feel the longing very deeply, and on the retreats as well, like just really opening to that. And I think for me it was most prominently showing up as a desire for sacred union, like really this like deep ache and longing for a sacred union and just perfect unity and holding and being reunited with the beloved. Like that was the strongest one for me, and I felt that very bodily as well.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, and the qualities of presence. Yeah, I've been exploring those, and still learning about the secondary ones. But yeah, they have been quite alive. And it's been cool to have like a name for them as well, as they're arising on these retreats as well, or in practice or in everyday life. It's nice to have a bit of a sense of what's there, a wayfinding.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, that's been my experience. It's only in the last 6 months that these qualities have been popping for me. Whereas before that, they were just something I read about in the course notes. And I was like, God, where is this pink unconditional love? And I only that was the last one to actually come to me, and that was only recently. And it came through dream work and meditating on dream work. I wish as a group we had more time to explore all of these things, because I don't think we get to do it in class as much. Anyway, I'll hold that wish for another occasion.
Beautiful. I think we may have to be asked to return to the main room here. maybe we could just end by like sharing a word of how you're feeling right now. Feel free.
Thank you. Thank you.
Joy.
So,
Curiosity.
Curiosity.
Deep gratitude and joy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Really wonderful to be with you, and I'm happy to continue the conversation anytime. Feel free to reach out if you would like to explore this more. Yeah. Deep bow.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you.